let's get to this final topic of the day. Talking about the 2024 breakout team. Shout out to Bucky Brooks doing what he does, NFL.com. But, we did this the other day. We were talking about the 2024 potential breakout players from the article, and Bucky was focusing exclusively on the offense. And for us, we didn't have a player named on the list, but we talked about Calvin Austin potentially being one of those guys because we thought that, Muth and GP are kind of past that stage of breakout stars. They're pretty much on the scene. People know them.
I would have put Muth in though.
You would have
over Dalton Kincaid.
It's okay. The rookie has Deke up in a he's in a frenzy now. I mean, it was just 1 year, just one little season, and now Deke is just he's up in arms. He's found a new villain. I'm like, yo, what has Dalton done to anybody? Dalton just came in the league. He was quiet. He just made some plays, and people like him. They think that he has a chance to be something. What would you say? Something.
There were like 2 or 3 Bills on that list. There was too many Bills.
Shakir, there was another young receiver on that list because a door has opened for him. You were productive with Diggs, and now Diggs is gone. You're going to get volume. So, and they referenced his postseason success. They were like, yo, he really made plays down the stretch. And I think there's something about when you watch a guy make plays in a postseason game, when you're part of winning in the postseason. I mean, we saw Dalton Kincaid touch paint. It's like, man, that when you're doing it in the postseason, it just hits a little differently. And then you're like, oh, you're a part of a win in the postseason because of this touchdown, because of that catch. That's why I think they put them on the list versus some other people. Calvin Austin
scored a touchdown in the postseason, didn't he?
He might have. I just don't know if it was, like that man running up the seam. And we like, help.
Well, we got Patrick. Steelers got Patrick Queen this year.
Yeah, it's different now. Heck, I'm with you, bro. It's different now.
Peyton Wilson.
It's different now. Come on, man. Talk that talk. It's different now.
We were hurting the line.
Talk that talk, man.
We
Talk
got
that
Miles
talk.
Jack off
Talk
the
that
couch.
talk. Hey, man. It's just we didn't know Miles Jack looked like he was off the couch until we saw him versus Dalton Kincaid. Then he was off the couch. That's why they're a little excited about him. Because we both were like, oh, yeah, Miles come off the couch. It'll be perfect. Don't worry about it, man. You guarding these dudes. And then we saw, it was like, oh, all right. Not so fast. But it works out. We live and we learn. And we got Patrick Queen now. So it's not going to happen again. We got Queen here. So we're good. We're good, man. We're good.
All right, let's get to this defense.
So we should love this one, though, man. All right. I think you're going to love this one today. So for Bucky Brooks, shout out to Bucky, talking about his all defensive guys, the guys they think can break out. And we'll get right to it, man. There were a couple of individuals that wear the black and gold that did get some recognition. All right. First guy starts in the trenches by the name of Keanu Benton. Oh. And then it happens to be this young cornerback that Deke might know. Goes by the name of Joey Porter Jr., but we call him young JPJ. Those are the 2 specific Pittsburgh Steelers that were mentioned in this article for 2024 potential breakout players league-wide, right? And this is prefaced with guys that did not receive, Pro Bowl or All-Pro accommodations, right? So some of the other guys that were named on the list for potential breakouts by Bucky Brooks from NFL.com, he brought up Calvin Thibodeau, right? Talked about his 11.5 sacks last year, what they think he can do. Jalen Carter. We obviously know Jalen Carter, ultra productive last year, man, high pedigree guy. We already mentioned Keanu Benton. We know what he meant to us in our D-line last year and the production that he had down the stretch along with in the postseason as well. Then from there, he mentioned Lucas Van Ness, the young pass rusher out of Green Bay going into his second year. Brought up a pair of linebackers that we're familiar with, Trenton Simpson, Baltimore Ratbirds, obviously going into his second year. They reference him getting a big opportunity now that Patrick Queen is gone. They also brought up Devin Lloyd, who was a little bit interesting because Lloyd's been in this league for a couple of years now, but he also has not fully, lived up to the expectations that were surrounding him when he came out. I remember how we talked about him in his draft class and stuff like that, but they bringing up, different scheme should help him out. Then they went to the cornerback room, Christian Gonzalez, guy that we were very high on coming out of Oregon in the draft. Obviously played well at times, got hurt last year. Joshua Williams, they brought him up because of they think that with the Chiefs moving on from L'Jarius Sneed, he's going to get those now, opportunities to kind of be in the forefront and make more plays and stuff. And then we already said JPJ, referencing his alpha dog mentality as well, which I do love, and his confidence. But then at safety, man, Andre Cisco, obviously with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Jair Brown, the other safety, the young safety in San Fran that is not Talona Hafanga, excuse me, on that one, man. So definitely like that, man. But specifically what he talked about with Keanu Benton, man, I'll read it verbatim. Says the Steelers are known for identifying and developing worker bees on the defensive front. Keanu Benton appears to be the next young defensive tackle poised to give opponents fits. The 6'4", 309-pounder held his own as a part-time starter for a unit specializing and bully ball in the trenches. As an energetic defender with a non-stop motor and active hands, Ben outworks and outlasts blockers to win battles on critical downs, though it is easier to win when playing alongside TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, and Alex Highsmith. Benton's disruptive talents could help the Steelers get back to playing championship caliber football. Now, I like that last sentence right there. Championship caliber football.
Yeah, obviously this is a good name, a good pick for this list. Because Steeler fan, we've been talking about him a lot this offseason, but, I mean, during his rookie season, like, he flashed. He jumped off the screen.
Early,
whenever
too.
He's out there. Yeah. So it's only right that him and then even that JPJ.
And I'm going to read JPJ's in a second.
Should be considered for second-year not drunks, getting drunk, but jumps.
See, we ain't on the golf course yet, man. Don't do us like that. Hey.
Yeah, to have a breakout season. We've been talking about it. It's just good to see some national media recognizing it.
No, respect on that, man. Yeah, Keanu, man, from what, third game last year, he was already getting in the backfield, getting sacks, being productive. And then we saw it really, start to take off towards the back end. And then even, like I said, in that Bills game, man, he was really productive in that game also. Whenever you're starting to, not just start a season, but also finish it strong and do it in the postseason where it matters more. We say you make plays in December, you make plays in January, it counts more than that play you made in September. So to see him as a rookie being able to do that, that's a big reason why we feel so confident in him and his ability to potentially replace even a Cam Hayward, because of what he brings to the table, man. So like I said, definitely like that right there, man. Then specifically what he said about Joey Porter Jr., says the second-year pro is a dark horse contender for Pro Bowl honors in 2024 after thriving as the cornerback one in Pittsburgh down the stretch last season. Porter's toughness, tenacity, and tools make him a difficult matchup for pass catchers who lack the speed and physicality to escape his clutches at the line. Though he remains a work in progress on the island, Porter's alpha dog mentality and unshakable confidence could enable him to shine without a polished game.
I take offense to him saying a dark horse contender for Pro Bowl honors. I don't think Joey Porter Jr. should be flying under the radar of anyone for Pro Bowl honors or accolades this year. I think he should be right in the mix of being talked about as top 10, potentially top 5 cornerback. I think that's just the natural trajectory he's on after his performance in his rookie season. Like, he was logging down wide receiver ones, man. Like, you see the charts, you see all the graphics. Like, he was playing, like, top-end cornerback ball, like, that second half of last year.
Absolutely.
So, if he just replicates that, I mean, he should be getting better going into year 2. Getting bigger, getting stronger. Like, yeah, he's going to be in that mix. I don't think there should be a dark horse adjective connected to that statement.
Nah, I could dig that. I was literally just pulling up to see who were the corners that made it last year. So total
Denzel Ward and like Marlon Humphrey.
So you have Darius Slay, or we'll go AFC. Excuse me on that one. So Jalen Ramsey made it last year. Denzel Ward made it last year. Patrick Surtain II made it last year, and Sauce Gardner made it last year in terms of just cornerbacks. So in terms of Jalen Ramsey, I feel like with Jalen, you dealing with just is Jalen. So I think that he's always going to kind of be in that convo, kind of like the Ray Lewis's or even the Bobby Wagners. You know how it goes.
Even
like,
Pouncey for like his last year.
Yeah, it's like, they're always going to get that type of nod. But Denzel Ward last year, 13 games, did have 2 picks. Not a lot of other. I'd have to look into see a little bit more from him. Surtain, obviously another one of those island lockdown type dudes. He's going to be viewed really highly. And then Sauce Gardner, who we know has a lot of that same type of talk and hype around him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that JPJ could definitely make a case for it. I just think in order to knock off the Ramsey, Surtain, and Sauce, he's going to need the splash turnovers. I think that
it's
is
either
how he
that
jumps in.
or like have ridiculous numbers when targeted, or like
Right,
hold whatever
whenever
receiver
they
to
guard
just
this guy,
ridiculous like stats that you could just pop up and say like, yeah,
Absolutely.
even though he's not getting picks, like this is
He
insane.
doesn't.
Like remember Nnamdi Asomugha?
I do. Heck yeah.
He never got picks, but like
When he was targeted,
blanket whoever the top receiver was, and they wouldn't get any yards against him. It was like just so ridiculous.
No, 100%. I think that could definitely help, but it has to be loud because that's a loud stat. That stat, even though it's not a turnover, is just as loud as a turnover. And I think that loud stats can help him jump some of these more established names because it's hard to just take off a Jalen Ramsey for a JPJ. It's hard to take a Pat Surtain the second off for a JPJ, and the way that they have viewed Sauce since coming into the league, they're trying to make him be that next.
Because I don't think he had many picks.
He has,
but like he got the
his
stats
game,
and the stuff
yeah.
to consider him like lockdown.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
because
it's
they pull
an island
up.
out
He's
there.
watched this number one, this number one, this number one, and they've only caught 3 catches for 60 yards total, and it's like those type of numbers are loud, man.
And that's kind of the vibes
that's what he
JPJ
gave up at
was
the end.
giving off last year.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the charts, you saw the guys he was up against, and yeah, they weren't really doing anything against JPJ.
Yeah. So we're gonna see, man, if he can replicate it.
Yeah, just do that.
But
for
do
a
it
full
for the whole
season.
year, which is a bigger ask.
Maybe get like you said though, like the splash plays aren't going to hurt. They would only help. That's what we want from him.
Yeah, I look at it like this: the splash plays will help if he's not all the way there in the sense of just blanket every single person. It's only going to be no catches or 1 catch for 5 yards. If you can't do that on a week in and week out, the splash turnover is the offset. And that's the way when you look at from the NFC, because the NFC, you have more of that going on. NFC-wise, you have, where's my man from Dallas? Deron Bland. He's not special, but 9 picks. That's loud, bro.
5 pick sixes.
Yeah, it's loud. It's no different than when the other Diggs boy did it. When Trevon Diggs did it. It was just like, yo, even though your floor isn't here, your playmaking is up here, so that is going to get you over there. I think it's got to be one of those type of things for him, man. But I think he's capable of it, and that's the other good part.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But he's going to get his opportunities, though. For a fact, he's going to get opportunities because, yeah, he's going to be our guy that's traveling. Or even not traveling, he's going to be the guy that's matching up with the ones, though. And we think he's capable of it, and he's going to have spotlight.
Yeah. And the other sentence I didn't really like about from Bucky Brooks here was the alpha dog mentality and unshakable confidence could enable him to shine without a polished game.
Yeah.
Like you could take that in a good way or bad way. I want JPJ to polish up his game as much as possible and get the penalties down.
Yeah.
But he's not necessarily wrong. It's just that I don't think that's something JPJ should be relying on his whole career.
Mm-hmm. You got to
like I'm a physical corner. I got that alpha dog mentality and all this stuff. It's like, no, if you can clean up these penalties, like do it. Like be an all around amazing corner.
Yeah.
Because if you're capable, like, and I think he is capable of it. Yeah. Like he was getting those penalties his rookie year, and we knew that was the rep on him.
That was his game coming out of
Penn State. But like, bro, there's a reason there's off seasons. There's a reason you put in this work and practice. And that's to
we
get
talk
better.
about a 2nd-year jump. That's the part.
I'm not gonna. So I'm kind of with him on this statement, but I'm also not. Again, like I am with Bucky Brooks and saying like, if we do get a penalty a game out of JPJ, but he's only giving up 20, 30 yards to the opposing team's number 1 receiver, like I can live with that. But to like get to that next level and be talked about with some of those guys we just mentioned in the Pro Bowl, but even maybe some of the all-time greats, like no, I want him to clean up those flags.
Yeah, no, that's real, and he's capable of it. But that's for certain. The way I interpreted it was, the knock on JPJ coming out was he's handsy. The knock at times last year was he's handsy. And if you have referees that allow you to play physical and be handsy, you can get away with it and it's fine. But we do know at times there are going to be officials versus certain receivers where they're not going to always allow that. And that's where it could become a little bit of an issue. But if he wants to go to that next level, which we think he's capable of, that is the part where he has to refine his game. I mean, Sauce Gardner has had to go through certain things. Jalen Ramsey has had to go through certain things. Pat Surtain has had to go through certain things where you have had success, but in order to keep going and keep being at the top of that mantle, you can't just rely on, oh, I'm a great athlete. All right, now you got to be able to use your hands. All right, I can't just have great athleticism and hands. I actually got to be willing to tackle. All right, I can't just be willing to have great hands, athleticism, and tackle. Also got to be able to play the ball down the grass and not panic. Oh, it's not just okay to get a PB. You actually got to catch some of these as well.
Yeah.
Those are the different things. Or even in Jalen Ramsey's case now where it's like, yo, you've evolved where you don't just play outside. You'll play in the slot sometimes. So you're showing now that, okay, maybe it's not always that, but I can still come in here and do this too with that Pat P, right? We saw, like, yo, sometimes you got to start evolving. What else can you add to your game to keep you relevant, to keep you as an asset for us? And I think for JPJ, that would be the next thing. But he has every single intangible.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want him, I wouldn't want him settling.
Yeah, because that would be it. You'll be settling. And you can get away with it for a while, but eventually it does catch up to you.
And I'm sure he's not. I'm sure that's something he's working on.
Well, you know he got that pedigree, man. I know his daddy. Daddy ain't going for that.
Yeah, like it's almost like the statement's like, you know, you have all these good things like the alpha dog mentality, the confidence, the physical traits and stuff. So you can get away with the flag or two or being. Yeah. It's like, no, why not have it all?
Yeah.
Why not have all that stuff, but also have the polished game?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's capable. Like he did everything he did his rookie year already. Like why not?
Yeah. I'm with it, man.
Good list, though.
I like it.
I like the list. Obviously, JPJ and Benton, good names to have from the Steelers. I don't really even mind the other names that much either. But I was trying to think of like a dark horse person for the Steelers that could maybe be not on this list, but maybe like on a personal like Steelers list or like guys that we could have in the back of our mind that could break out.
I feel he's a year away though.
That's a good name. I was gonna say Liao. I've been hearing positive reports about Liao this offseason.
Okay, I like that one.
Where we obviously know maybe Corey the defensive line transitions to more of like Benton and Liao.
Yeah,
for the future.
Because Trice is another name that people are excited about, but he's still more of the speculation.
Trice would be going for a Steelers list.
Yeah, for a Steelers list,
yeah. A deep cut Steelers list.
Yeah,
it'd
he's
be Trice, Herbig, and Liao. Those would be three good names, I think.
Because I feel like if Herbig gets an opportunity, that's the only thing that's keeping him from breaking out. But I don't see how he
not enough snaps.
Right, I don't see how he does that unless an injury were to happen to Highsmith or TJ, which I don't want. So that's why I'm like, I feel like he's still a year before that's going to start, seeing more playing time.
Peyton Wilson's a rookie, so we can't add him.
I feel like he's another one that's a year away because I need to see what does the Queen, Roberts, along with Holcomb returning look like, and how long does that keep Wilson off the field before Wilson starts to come on this field? Because I think for Wilson, man, if E-Rob, Holcomb, Queen are healthy, you'll start to see Wilson a lot more around week 10. I see it like a later in the year type of thing. But I feel like going into that following season next year, I feel like that's the guy that they're going to be trying to put out there from day one with Queen and say, yeah, we don't have to pace ourselves with you. We don't have to protect you. We can just let you go because we kind of, if the whole conversation around him is how long will his career last, we've kind of bought some of that time back by you not having to come out here early on because we still do have a Landon Roberts and a Cole Holcomb. So that's the kind of the way that I kind of look at it right now for him. But, yeah, I like Herbig, though, man.
So 5, really. I think 5 solid breakout candidates on defense.
Yeah.
Benton, JPJ. I throw Liao
that's a
in
nice
there.
one. That's a nice one, though.
And then who else did we just say? Herbig and then Trice.
Yeah.
I'd have those 5. I guess, if you had a top 5 Steeler breakouts on defense, I think that'd be a solid list because I don't even know if you can qualify anyone else really
Everybody's kind of broken out. Yeah.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott, he's too old at this point. Casey.
Dante Jackson's already broken out. You know who he is.
Patrick Queen obviously made a Pro Bowl.
Larry Ogunjobi, he's already been paid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, no.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Highsmith, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 5. I'd say a good,
solid,
solid 5 on defense to watch out for.
That's solid. I like that.
I think all of them, they're very capable too. Yeah. Like they're all names that like I could see a path. It's just not worth floating out guys that are kind of young and haven't broken out yet. So like it could happen. Yeah. Like there's a way you could see the season playing out where Leal stepped up a little bit here.
Right, and Leal, and think about
Trice,
Leal has already shown us what he's flashed capable of. Right, it's like we know you're athletic. We know that you can run. We know that you actually can produce. But the consistency is the thing that has had us kind of looking at you like, we need more. But the ability is definitely there. And I think all the guys we named, I think the only one that we have the biggest question is Corey Trice, because we haven't seen him in a stadium just yet. But the rest of those guys we've seen in some capacity make plays. And we feel like, if you could do it more consistently, you could definitely do that. But it's not I've never seen this guy look like he's in this class before. I think those, you know what I mean? So that's why I like the 5. Heck yeah.
How about this question from Pittsburgh Toddy? Is Leal just a bad fit for the 3-4?
You can make a case. He's more of a 4-3 penetrator. But at the same time, it's like,
I mean, we play 4-3.
Yeah, probably. We do enough of it. Both of them.
Which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, I just think when I think of Leal, I just think his foundation was a little altered by him having to do some of that DN and 3 technique stuff versus just strictly playing 5 technique. And then when his base play or when his sub package played 3 technique, and that's that. I think when we're doing that big nickel, go out here and play on this tight end for run support, this and that, I think it just kind of stunted his growth a little bit from a development standpoint. But yeah, you bounce back, and that's the thing. So you just got to bounce back.
Yeah, this is back in the lab, man. For the Steelers, I'd say.
Yep.
Because was this the end of his contract?
This would be coming up. This would be year 4. No, is this year 3?
Yeah, this is year 3.
Yeah, he has 1 year left because he was a second rounder.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is very much make or break though,
yeah.
Because if nothing really happens this year, we're really going to be trying to replace you next offseason.
Yeah, if he doesn't step up, don't be surprised if they take a D tackle in the first or second. Like, you're going to get one of those in there. The same way we started attacking that offense line, it was like, draft pick. You'll see them start attacking that D line. All right, Cam and Larry y'all a little bit older. All right, we feel great about Keanu. Let's add to the room. Let's go get some pedigree.
Because it could be Leal. It definitely could be. It's out there in front of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just hasn't really lived up in full thus far. But
he was a third rounder.
The D line room's a little busy. I get that, but his rookie year he showed some stuff, and last year didn't play much, and when he was out there, it felt like a disappointment.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, it happens. So, yeah, we'll see if he could change the narrative for year 3.